Pippa Middleton, the shadow, the spotlight, and the silence between L. Not all sisters of a future queen end up being famous in their own right. However, not all sisters are Pippa Middleton. As Kate Middleton floated down the aisle to her destiny as a princess in 2011, the entire planet gasped.
The day was declared a public holiday in the UK, and around 1 million people lined the routes between Westminster Abbey and Buckingham Palace.
Not only for the bride herself, but also for the bride's maid of honor in white.
Catherine wore a white Alexander McQueen dress designed by Sarah Burton.
Pippa's Alexander McQueen dress hugged her stunningly. And it wasn't just the shape that commanded attention. It was the silent confidence, the elegance, and the possibility of a new name in the limelight. A moment turned into a moniker, and a moniker turned into a movement. But once the spotlights faded and headlines disappeared, what was there left for the woman who had never sought fame, yet couldn't escape it? What do you do if one moment defines you more than a lifetime of efforts ever can? Pippa Middleton entered celebrity life as a deer enters a clearing, graceful, curious, and ignorant of the risk. Along with the celebrity status arrived obsession, and with obsession arrived intrusiveness. The younger Middleton soon turned into a tabloid favorite, a focus of interest and scrutiny. She attempted to divert her story, writing a book, starting business ventures, taking up different causes, but the label Duchess's sister clung to her like static. Along arrived James Matthews. On paper, he was perfect. A richly connected hedge fund manager with a dignified bearing and quiet demeanor. But what if the same quiet that you crave in life turns into silence in love? Their attraction was undeniable, rooted in their shared love of doing good, passion for the outdoors, and love of family. Eventually, though, a gap did seem to be widening. Not in love, but in direction. She loved being in the public eye, while he liked being alone in his own company. She loved the glamour and glitz, while he stepped away from it. Can love endure if one half requires the crowd and the other half yearns to be in seclusion? At parties with society friends, Pippa was observed to be alone with increasing frequency. And if asked where her husband was to be found, her responses were half-hearted, occasionally genial, occasionally evasive as well. "He's sitting with the baby," she laughed once, with a strained smile that didn't quite meet the corners of her own eyes. What followed were murmurs, whispers, unsubstantiated rumors of distance. Not physical per se, but emotional. Friends close to them gossiped about the efforts undertaken and bridges planned, yet not always crossed. Under the meticulously constructed Instagram posts, insiders documented emotional burnout. A woman demanding more, an engaged partner who paid more attention, shared the limelight, perhaps even a mature redo of the two of them and their vows. But Matthews, as always, was mired in his quieter world. How much is too much compromise before you start compromising yourself? Comparisons to the Princess and Prince of Wales were bound to be drawn, and to be drawn in vain. Kate and William are a partnership honed by duty and smoothed by protocol. Pippa is close to royalty and lives outside of its rulebook, free to be unprotected. Yet still, she attempted to do so. Charities, motherhood, foundations, and her public appearances
You ready? 3, go! Oh, yes, good shot. Next one.
But you'll go. Brilliant.
saw her maintaining the illusion of keeping it all together. But fashion observers detected a shift. The girl who once loved bold floral prints had shifted to subtle colors and horizontal and vertical forms, as though her own wardrobe had also tired of playing along. Fuel to the fire was added in the form of family drama that started simmering. Sister-in-law Vogue Williams' subtle jibes caused gossip of a cold relationship beneath the Matthews' glossy surface. Were there playful rivalries at work here, or was it something else? Was Pippa caught in another shadow, albeit from her own large family? Perhaps the most astonishing is not rumors of a divorce, but rather the persistent lack of candor. There has been neither a confirmation in words, nor a single word spoken to dispute it. Nothing more than a woman stuck between preserving her peace and protecting her pride. How do you find your own voice in a world that wants you to echo someone else's? Even so, Pippa's legacy doesn't have to be about relationships, royal or otherwise. It is in her resilience, in her philanthropy, in her struggle to create something that is her own. It is in her resistance to being pigeonholed, in her insistence on visibility even in pain, and in her unshaken dignity in the face of public scrutiny. What is next in store for Pippa Middleton? Perhaps she doesn't need the answers of the world. Perhaps finally she's formulating her own questions. And maybe, just maybe, that is where her own story really begins.